All right, hello everyone. My name is Joshua Colby. I am the instructor for Pima Medical Institute's technical writing course. I wanted to make this video as we are now in week 2 of the class. I want to kind of go over the trajectory of the class, kind of explain a few things about how the class works, and then break down what we have going on this week. Let me go ahead and share the screen and we'll jump into it. So, all right, so here is the announcement for week 2. Last week was the introduction week. We had our introduction discussion and topic selection, as well as some textbook and quiz work. This week, we're learning about audience and point of view. These are the deadlines we have for this week. The point of view assignment is due tomorrow, Saturday the 6th of November. Our week 2 dialogue first posts are also due tomorrow, November 6th. We then have the chapter 2 reading test due Tuesday the 9th, and the week 2 dialogue replies due Tuesday the 9th. And then your thesis and outline assignment is due Wednesday the 10th. So let's take a look at the point of view assignments together. Well, actually, first, let me talk about the overall course trajectory and the topic selection. So last week, if we go into course content here and we take a look at week 1, we had the topic selection, right? And in that topic selection, you all came up with a few options for essentially a controversy related to your medical field that you could research and kind of create an argument about. The way that this class works is that you'll be using that topic that you picked in the topic selection discussion from week 1 as the topic for essentially what will be a portfolio of different documents that you will include or that you will put together for the final. So as the course is progressing, week after week after week, we will be composing different documents, all related to your chosen controversy that you picked last week in that topic selection discussion. And you'll be doing research and writing different types of documents all about that. So you'll be writing some correspondence documents like a professional email, a professional business letter. You'll be writing a proposal, a formal report, maybe not a proposal, formal report, putting together a PowerPoint, essentially all of these different individual documents that we're going to be working on throughout the course, all will be centered on that specific medical controversial topic that you picked. So you'll be researching and writing about that topic all semester long or all class long. I hope that makes sense. So that's kind of how the course works. We'll have a few other assignments and discussions that aren't related to that topic, but most of the class will be centered around researching and writing about your chosen topic or your chosen controversy. So with that in mind, if you weren't aware of that, if you need to change your topic, that's still fine. You can do that. You don't have to be using one of the topics we did in our topic selection. But you do need to very quickly pick a topic that is related to your medical field, that is a controversy that you can research and argue about. And you'll be kind of doing research and picking a side or a stance on that topic and then building your argument around it. Okay, so let's talk about what we have going on this week, starting with the point of view assignment. So, point of view. For this assignment, you will write 3 separate paragraphs on one of the following topics: the types of technical writing used in your workplace, or a strategy you use when faced with writing a research paper. Your paragraph should consist of at least 5 sentences. The content of each paragraph will be the same, with only the point of view changing for each paragraph. Paragraph 1 will be in first person, 2 in second person, 3 in third person. Let me switch over and show you an example of what this looks like. I quickly threw together an example. It's nothing special, but so here's my Word document. Notice everything is in Times New Roman 12-point font, which is the standard APA academic font. I have a cover page complete with the name of my paper, my name, the class, and the date. Obviously, you would replace your name with, or my name with your name. I also have a header with a running head, all set up according to APA format. Real quick, if you are confused with APA format or you have not done APA before, I strongly recommend you visit OWL Purdue APA. Just Google it, throw it in Google. OWL Purdue OWL stands for Online Writing Lab from the Purdue University. It's the best guide for APA format that I have found. They have sample papers, sample reference pages, things like that. So you can see how APA format is supposed to be done. And we'll talk more about APA format a lot throughout this class. So I have my cover page set up. And then on my next page, I begin my writing. Notice I've got my first person paragraph. I've indented with the tab key. So instead of starting right here, I'm starting here. My paragraph or my writing is double spaced, which means the spaces between the lines are doubled, not that there are two spaces between sentences. Again, a lot of people have this kind of hangover from back in the day when like word processing was first thing. To be honest, I think it's a hangover from like typewriter typing. I don't know where it comes from, but you're not supposed to, you don't hit the space bar twice. What I mean by that is when I finish my sentence, I put my period, I only hit the space bar once. When I'm saying double spacing, I mean double spacing between the lines, not this where you hit space bar twice between a sentence. Please don't do that. What I mean by double spacing is if you highlight and you right click and you go to paragraph, you'll see line spacing, and I have set it to double. So this is my first person point of view paragraph. It's first person because I'm going to use words like I, me, my. So my name is Joshua Colby. I am the instructor for this technical writing course. I am so glad it's Friday because I am exhausted. This was a long week and I can't wait to go home and relax. I haven't felt well all week, so I am dying for pajamas, a cup of tea, a good book, and an early bedtime. I hope next week goes better. Notice I keep that first person point of view all the way throughout. Then I have the exact same paragraph but written in second person. So all of the my's, me's, etc. are going to be changed to you, yours. Your name is Joshua Colby. You are the instructor for this technical writing course. You are so glad it's Friday, etc. Then I repeat the process with third person point of view. His name is Joshua Colby. He is the instructor for this technical writing course. Joshua is so glad it's Friday because he's exhausted, etc. The point here is notice that my content is remaining exactly the same with only the point of view changing. So each paragraph is at least 5 sentences. The point of view is consistent through each of them. The content doesn't change, only the point of view does. I'll post this sample on Blackboard along with the video that I'm recording right now. So you'll have the video and the sample available. Let's take a look at the rubric for this assignment. Let's go. So for all of the assignments, if you click on the actual name of the assignment, let me show you real quick. If you click like right here on assignment point of view, it'll take you in and you can look at the rubric. If you click view rubric, it'll open it in a new window. So let me do that real quick. I'll show you. We'll go down the rubric together. So first, you're being graded on point of view, with exemplary being that each paragraph demonstrates appropriate and consistent point of view throughout. Then sentence structure, all sentences are complete and well structured with a variety of sentence styles and lengths. If you look back at my sample, I have some simple sentences, I have some longer sentences, compound sentences with commas, etc. Organization, paragraphs utilize a clear, well-organized structure, and then writing mechanics virtually free from errors. So that's what you're being graded on for this assignment. From experience, students tend to lose points by not writing full paragraphs, meaning that they'll only have like 3 sentences, by changing the content of each paragraph, or by sort of sliding between points of view. So once you are in first person, stay in first person. Once you're in second, stay in second, etc. Okay, so that's the point of view assignment. Let's get back to Blackboard real quick, and we'll take a look at the rest of the week. So the point of view assignment, then we have the thesis and outline assignment. So for the thesis and outline assignment, you're going to construct a thesis statement and develop a rough outline for your future research report assignment. Your thesis and outline is going to be based on the topic identified and approved in the topic selection discussion. So the same controversial medical issue that we just talked about, and that you guys picked during the topic selection discussion. So you need to create a thesis statement for your topic based on the elements of a thesis statement that you learned about in this lesson. Here's a reading about it. You're also then going to construct an outline. So you have your thesis, and then you'll have a rough outline. It should include the format of the samples included in this lesson. Here is a sample here, which we'll look at in just a minute. It should include introduction, body, and conclusion sections. The outline body section should include a minimum of 3 main points, each with at least 2 supporting ideas. This is a big one that students miss a lot. It needs to include a transition sentence at the end of each section. So moving from like point A to point B and moving from intro to body to conclusion, all should have a complete sentence transition. Your outline does not need to be composed of complete sentences overall at this point. You can just use key phrases and words. Basically, your outline doesn't have to be complete at this point, but it should contain enough information based on these requirements to develop a direction for your report. And that's really what we're getting at here. There are 2 things required for good writing. Well, there are several things required, but there's 2 steps that really are important for good writing of a research paper. And the first is that you have a clear thesis statement. A thesis statement is that sentence that really explains what your argument is, that narrows it down to the exact thing you're going to be arguing about. And then the second thing is that you have proper organization, a good intro, a good body, a good conclusion that develops in a logical order. It's real easy as a teacher, really just as a reader, to tell when a paper was written based on an outline versus when it wasn't. When it's not based on an outline, it tends to, even well-written papers tend to lack that organizational structure where a good idea leads into the next idea, leads into the next idea. So we are trying to build a good outline that logically ideas flow into one another. This kind of serves as the skeleton for your paper. Let's take a look at the sample outline real quick. Okay, here we go. Here's a sample. You don't need to include any colored font like this. I really don't know why that's even here on the sample. Nothing should be bold. We're still working in APA format. Use APA format rules, which means standard Times New Roman font, everything black color, no bold. We don't need to do this. But notice how we have a Roman numeral 1, then we have our introduction, then we have our 2 subpoints, with the second one being our thesis statement. Notice that the thesis statement is putting forth a clear argument. Running is a great form of exercise. That's the argument. And then it gives us reasons because it helps people control their weight. Reason 1, develops muscles. Reason 2, and improve mental and physical performance. Then in the body of their outline, which is Roman numeral 2, body, these 3 main points, weight, muscle development, and performance, become point A, point B, point C, with subpoints listed below them. The thing that this sample does not show is a good transition. So what I mean by a transition is after A, you would want to have a transition sentence that says something like, weight control is not the only benefit of running. Then we get into muscular development. After muscular development, putting on muscle or developing muscle is not the only reason to go running. Then we jump in here, right? So this is a simple outline. And again, you really are kind of crafting a simple outline at this point. It doesn't need to be super detailed yet, but you should start thinking about the argument, about the paper that you want to write in the future. Take a look at the rubric together real quick. So you need to have a clear thesis statement that's well developed. It needs to adhere to outline format with no errors. The content should be clear, logical, and organized. And then your writing mechanics should be on point. So that's how you're going to get graded for the thesis and outline, which is due, what did I say, Tuesday, I think. Let me double check before we get out of here. Okay, so let's do one more time. So that's what we have. We have the point of view assignment due tomorrow. The week 2 peer dialogue begins tomorrow. We'll take a look at what the dialogue is about in just a second. You have the chapter 2 reading test due Tuesday. You have the week 2 dialogue replies due Tuesday. I'm sorry, and then the thesis and outline is due Wednesday, not Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's take a look at the week 2 dialogue real quick. Discussion. Okay, so the week 2 dialogue is all about knowing your audience. So you need to imagine that you have completed your research report and that the information in your report has to be conveyed to different types of audiences. So in your first post, you need to describe your topic, its purpose, and the scope. And then you need to identify 2 specific and distinct audiences that would need to know or benefit from the information in your report. analyze at least 3 characteristics of each audience that you would need to consider in meeting the needs of that audience when presenting the information to them. Essentially, what this is getting at is a major part of rhetoric and writing, a major part of being an effective writer or speaker is that you have to know your target audience. I don't speak to college students for PIMA the same way that I do to freshmen in high school, even if I'm talking about relatively the same thing, like building an outline. I have to change up the way that I deliver the message, the language I use, etc., to match that audience. So that's kind of what you want to think about when you are analyzing your 2 hypothetical audiences. So once you make your first post, you then want to reply to at least 2 classmates, essentially offering some criticism and advice. Okay, so that's what we have for the week. I hope this video helps you guys. If you have questions, please email me. That's the best way of getting in touch with me. Just send me an email and I will get back to you as quick as I can. Happy to help. So please don't hesitate. Just reach out to me and I will help you. That's it. Have a good weekend and I will see you guys next time.